Hello everyone, my name is Puffin O'Hanlon and I'm a Research Assistant at the Division of Psychiatry at University College London. Welcome to Block 5 of this course on evaluation. This block is about analysing quantitative data. I'm here to give a brief introduction to the course. Your other tutors on this block will be Claire Nightingale and Antonio Rojas Garcia. In this block, we'll take you through the steps that you need to take when analysing a quantitative data set. We'll look at different approaches to displaying and summarising your data, and how you might take a critical approach to your data. We'll also introduce some principles of statistical inference. This is the process by which we analyse data from our sample to infer properties about a population, including hypothesis testing and deriving estimates. We won't be covering any analysis that you can't complete in Excel. Using statistical tests to calculate statistical significance and controlling for potential confounding variables are also beyond the scope of this course and won't be covered in this block. In order to make sense of the data you've collected, there are a few important steps to take. The first is to create a data set that you can easily analyse. This involves cleaning your raw data set, so correcting any data entry mistakes and checking for consistency of spelling and format, and data coding and recoding, which is where we convert original data into data that Excel will understand. The second step is to describe and summarise the data. We'll take you through this in lecture casts about descriptive statistics and presenting data graphically. The third step is to look at relationships or associations in your data. This step is covered in the Examining Associations lecture cast. The final step is to interpret your findings and to appraise the extent to which they answer the questions you set out to investigate in your evaluation. Before starting this process, it's useful to think about what types of variables you are collecting. By variables, we just mean things that can change or vary, for example between people or over time. Broadly speaking, variables can be categorical or numerical. A categorical variable is made up of categories. The simplest categorical variables have just two categories, and these are called binary variables. For example, when gender is divided into male and female, or disease status into whether someone has a disease or not. A categorical variable with more than two categories that are broadly equivalent is called a nominal variable. Ethnic group would be an example of a nominal variable. When categories can be ordered in some meaningful way, the variable is known as an ordinal variable. Socioeconomic status is an example of an ordinal variable. The order of categories of an ordinal variable tells us something. For example, we know that the runner who came first in the race was better than the runners who came second and third. However, this order tells us nothing about the differences between categories, so we don't know how much better the winner of the race was than the runners-up. Numerical variables can be continuous or discrete. Continuous variables can take on any value in a given range, for example height or temperature. Discrete variables, on the other hand, can only take on certain values, for example whole numbers. So you can't have 1.5 children. The intervals between these values are representative of differences in the property being measured. So, for example, the difference between 2 children and 4 children is 2 children, which is the same as the difference between 4 children and 6 children. The type of data that you have affects the ways in which you can describe and analyse it, and we'll think more about different types of data during the course of this block. That concludes the introduction to this block. Thank you for listening.